Hello, it's Gary here from Rise of the Gay Cinephiles. Throughout our video nasty season, a trigger warning will be in place for sexual assault, animal cruelty, graphic violence, racism and other forms of bigotry as we discuss these films from a very different time. It may not apply to all of them, but it's best to keep the trigger warning here just in case. Enjoy the episode. Hello, welcome to Rise of the Gay Cinephiles, a show where we, two gay cinephiles who watch way too many films, discuss various themes and eras of cinema. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
And for this season, we're still discussing all 72 films from the Video Nasties DPP List in alphabetical order. It's Mardi Gras here at Gay Cinephiles, and we're having an absolute nightmare in our damaged brains whilst we head down the deep river to go to the Madhouse. And yes, we did promise a discussion about Mountain of the Cannibal God for this episode, but it's only listed as Slave of the Cannibal God on IMDb and Letterboxd. So we moved it to episode 13. You just have to wait a little longer for Ursula.
Yes, yeah. If I remember correctly, I don't think people will be waiting too much with bated breath.
Probably not.
I know it's the most exciting film on the planet, but yes, we decided to move it. So it's a 4-film episode.
It is.
Which is nice.
And we don't actually have a lot to discuss during what's new with Chris and Gary.
No.
In fact,
a little slow on the new films front.
Yeah. I mean, there's only really one older film that's a highlight, because the other one we're going to be discussing during Shelf Love, so... the Dumb Waiter short film.
Yes.
Really creepy.
So, for anyone here in the UK, who released it? BFI? BFI have released Short, Sharp Shocks, the 4th volume of which came out today. But we own 3 volumes on Blu-ray of Short, Sharp...
Short, sharp shocks.
I love that you tried to correct me then, and then
I was helping you,
and
not
then
correcting
ended up
you.
saying the word "shart" on the podcast.
Short, sharp shocks.
Yes, a shart is a shit and a fart.
That's
Yeah,
true.
for anyone that's wondering. Yes, so they've released 3 volumes, and we haven't watched that many. Let's be honest.
We've only watched one.
Well, there we go then, yeah. And
It's a
it was a great way to start. Yeah, a wonderful... I want to say the word tight. Is that the right word? It's because it's a short film. It's scary. It was very scary.
Yes,
very creepy. Would work as a opener to a slasher film, potentially. Would work great. But yeah, I highly recommend.
And
very British.
We also finished Peacemaker Season 2, which was fantastic. What I really appreciated about it was, apart from 2 of the final 3 episodes being like maybe the best episodes of any superhero TV show I've seen, the final episode, what I really appreciated is how, I don't know, minimalistic it felt. At such a, like, the ending leaves things open for the DCU, but it still didn't feel like it was, you know, you're not getting no massive over the top battles and stuff. It felt really contained, considering how over the top the rest of the season was. So
I think what they've tried to do with Peacemaker, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I really think they've tried to develop the characters. But their relationships with each other.
Yeah.
It's less, I feel, about action and superhero stuff. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, particularly this season, it doesn't actually act like a superhero very much.
No.
It's almost a bit like a... sitcom at times, really, when the way the characters interact with each other and such. So it's very much been about the friendship between them, establishing those characters. And I really hope it's fuck's sake, James Gunn got it right. James Gunn said that there likely isn't going to be a season 3 anytime soon. I hope we see these characters in the films.
I'm sure we will.
All of them, because I really enjoyed their interactions with each other.
Yeah.
And some of the humour may be a little juvenile for me, but overall, I've really enjoyed both seasons of Peacemaker.
Well, our best new film highlight of the week is automatically, that's not to do it a discredit, but it's automatically Good Boy. Even if it was a little disappointing. I was expecting more, personally, but you know what? It's not terrible. It's fine.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe a little dull in parts, I'm not going to lie. Give me a dog on screen for the whole film, though, and I am invested.
Well, a dog that can act as good as that, especially.
Yeah, but if I'm being picky, I did find there were some lows, and it could have and maybe should have been a short film.
Yeah.
But it is the only film we watched in the cinema, brand new this week.
Yes.
But if you like dogs, watch it. Yeah?
Yeah.
I would say watch it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But the real highlight is actually our Shelf Love entry for this week, which is a new release from Radiance Films, and it is a film called Malpatuous, directed by Harry Kumel. And it is, as I said, Radiance box set edition, really fancy box set edition. Radiance, we've got a few of their releases, haven't we, since they started?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I'm really enjoying them as the boutique Blu-ray.
Yeah. Yeah, they're one to look out for, that's for sure. And this box set, it comes with a booklet, loads of interviews, the can cut of the film, the Warden of the Tomb, which is one of Kumel's early films, one of his short films. But as for the film itself, really blew me away. It looks stunning with this transfer from Radiance. It is a really, really fantastic 4K restoration. And it's kind of like if Carnival of Souls and Ken Russell's Gothic had a baby. And I mean that as a massive compliment, as a massive fan of both of those films. It's just really dreamlike, it's really haunting, and it's super queer as well. Like, there's so much queer code in here, and I feel like queer identity is a theme at the centre of the film, as are the themes of power dynamics and mythology, and the three of those come together to create something really fascinating. And Matthew Carreri and Orson Welles and Susan Hampshire, all phenomenal. The set designs are phenomenal. It's so melodramatic. The soundtrack is great. And it's just a film that really has to be seen to be believed if you are into art house and surrealism within horror.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of a film that I love, Valerie and Her Week of Wonders.
It is, yeah.
It's one of those films that me and Gary seek out so much in that it's slightly off. Mm-hmm. It's not quite, there's something not quite fitting in it, and we love that. It's avant-garde, it's surreal, it's weird. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Did it make 100% of sense to me? No. Does that mean I need to rewatch it? Yes. And that, isn't that what we want from a film that we love?
Yeah.
A reason to rewatch. And with this Blu-ray edition, what better reason than being able to rewatch it again to figure things out a little more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And it is out now. Thank you to AIM Publicity for sending us a copy. We look forward to receiving Daughters of Darkness, another Harry Kumel film that they are releasing on near the end of the month. But that's enough about good film. No, I'm only joking. It's a fairly decent episode, actually, this week. Only one bad film.
Yes, yeah, pretty bad film, but
it's bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
but it's only one.
It's all right, actually. It averaged out pretty decent.
Yeah. First up, we have Madhouse from 1981.
Dog. Good boy.
AKA There Was a Little Girl, The House of Darkness, Crazy Room, House of Horrors, Scared to Death, Flesh and the Beast, and When She Was Bad, and also Madhouse, Party of Horror. My favourite type, Madhouse. Madhouse is a fantastic name for a film. That's why when you type it into IMDb, so many films come up. Because it's including the Vincent Price one.
Yeah, so because it's already been taken by the Vincent Price one by this point, I'm going to say There Was a Little Girl as a slightly better title.
Okay.
Just because it's already been taken. So.
Yeah, Flesh and the Beast I quite like, but I'm not sure if it fits the film too much. Flesh and the Beast gives me erotic horror.
Yeah.
This isn't erotic horror.
It's written and directed by Ovidio G. Assonitis, who had to fire and subsequently fill in for the original director who was hired to do this film 10 days into production. However, it was later revealed that the same had happened on Beyond the Door, and he would famously do it again with James Cameron on Piranha 2 The Spawning. Cameron claimed that Assonitis only hired an American director to get studios to finance his productions, and then he would declare the director incompetent just so he could fire them and direct the films himself.
Ah, that totally makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Maybe for the best here, because the end result isn't Piranha 2. Co-written by Stephen Blakely, Peter Shepard, and Roberto Gandus, starring Trish Everly, Michael McRae, Dennis Robertson, and Morgan Hart. And it's about a woman who's pursued by her murderous psychopathic twin sister in the days leading up to their birthday.
Or, in the latest episode of Keeping Up with the Sullivans, Julia's faultless glamour and effortlessly bouncy hair send Mary into a fit of jealous rage. Can Kris Jenner... Excuse me. Can their uncle bring them back together?
Yeah. This was prosecuted, but released and cut in 2004. So, first and foremost, this film inspired a modern horror film. One of our favourites, actually.
Yes.
It would go on to inspire, amongst many other films, but amongst that little group of films with certain similarities, would go on to inspire James Wan's *Malignant*.
Yeah, a film that we really enjoyed, which I think has become a bit of a cult classic.
I think so. It's easy to see the influence, but this in itself didn't you say was released a month before Happy Birthday to Me?
Yeah,
which is shocking.
Some odd similarities between them.
Yeah, there are a lot of similarities here, but I think Madhouse is great. I think we share a very similar problem with it, with a certain direction it takes.
Yes.
Particularly with its twist. Where, I'm not going to say who, but the film massively becomes about a man, even though it's a film that's been about a woman for like an hour and 20 minutes before that point.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. I think it's a really good slasher. I think Julie is a fantastic lead character with an unstoppable face card and unlimited wisdom.
My God, that face card.
I know.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Her wisdom knows no bounds, as she says, it's not the dead that scares me, it's the living. She knows what's going on. She knows the real problems in life, clearly.
She's an intelligent woman as well, effortlessly stylish.
Yeah.
Too, like really, the outfits are fantastic. If she was my sister, I think I'd go into a jealous rage too.
Of course.
And start killing people.
Of course. It's completely understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But she's great. She really is great. This, one of my favourite video nasty queens. It's pretty... I think that with this film it's camp when it needs to be, and it's also quite eerie when it needs to be as well. I think the dog thing is really scary. As adorable as the dog in the film looks, apparently everyone on set was like really on edge with the dog, and everyone had to stand really still and act in very specific ways to make sure the dog didn't go crazy. The dog looks so adorable, but also really scary.
Yes.
There's one scene, which, you listen to the video, Nasty's podcast, if you've heard of this film, you know this happens. If not, we are terribly sorry, but let's be honest, it's a little predictable. You know this is coming. Not often I'd give a best death award to an animal, but the dog's death scene in this is so ridiculously camp that I can't give it to anything else. It gets a drill in the head, which sounds horrific, but because it's clearly a fake dog's head on a stick being poked through a door the entire time, it adds so much charm to it.
Yeah, it is like a puppet that's like drilled, which in itself doesn't sound very nice.
No.
But yeah, it's a little too goofy to be horrific.
Yeah. Some of it hasn't aged particularly well. Could have maybe done without that jarring, stereotypical Asian character during the first act.
Yes, yeah.
But aside from that, it's grisly. Some genuinely shocking moments. Again, I hope this isn't too much of a spoiler, but a deaf kid being killed by the evil dog because he wanted his Pepsi Frisbee back. Pretty harsh stuff.
Yeah, it's always pretty harsh when films kill children. I think it was always kind of a guarantee to get on the video nasty. Well, not a complete guarantee. But it's always a shock when they actually do kill the kids. What I found I really enjoyed about Madhouse was really ultimately the character of Julia.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked her. I was really behind her. I really liked the performance given, considering it was her only film.
Patricia Mickey.
Yeah, so she'd done television work. I thought I knew her from somewhere, but I didn't. But she did a great job, considering this was her only feature-length film. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed her. And she was the heart of the film for the majority of it. And I think maybe I wish they could have said a little more about her relationship with her sister.
Yeah.
And then, like Gary said, suddenly it becomes about a man and not about sisters. And that, it lost me then.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed the soundtrack. So another Riz
very good.
Ortolani soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in their reviews said they found it annoying, but I didn't think it was. I mean, each to their own. But I really liked the soundtrack. I really liked the way it looked. Mm-hmm. I thought the evil sister came across really creepy.
Yeah.
I think she was dubbed, and I think dubbing makes a character creepier.
I think so.
When the mouth isn't quite matching the words.
I mean,
I think she had her mouth covered a lot, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and that outfit, that long white, is it nightgown or whatever she was wearing, kind of helps.
Yeah, she was giving Isabella Adjani a little bit in possession, but sadly she had facial disfigurements, and that was part of the reason she was very resentful of her sister. So yeah, it's an interesting film. I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wish it would have been just a little bit more, a little bit more to it. I do also love how Julia, a lot of because it's a slasher film at heart, a lot of the victims, Julia didn't actually notice they had died.
It's true.
It's just like it was clearly just fodder for a body count, but there were a couple where it's like, okay, we're just not going to mention these.
Made no difference to her life
and then I also think the corpses. Oh, I suppose the corpses weren't found. Okay, yeah, yes.
Well, it has an IMDb rating of 5.5 out of 10, Letterboxd rating of 3 out of 5. I gave it 3.5 out of 5.
I gave it 3.5 out of 5.
Did it deserve to be on the list? Why do we think it's on the list? I'd say it's the hand puppet dog death.
It's absolutely, because number one, it's a power drill.
Yeah.
Which they hated. And number two, it's a dog's head being drilled, which is cruelty to animals. So essentially, they would think, oh, someone's going to watch this, and then they're going to drill their dog in the head.
Did it deserve to be on there? No.
No, not really.
A film that dude deserved to be on there and deserved to be never seen ever again. Is this episode's one bad film? It's Man from Deep River from 1972.
Netted like a fish from the waters, cornered like an animal at bay, tortured like a creature less than human. Man from Deep River, trapped where time and a lifestyle have stood still, where adventure ends and hell begins. Man from Deep River, adults only.
AKA, now you ready now? There's quite a few of these ones. The Land of Wild Sex, Sacrifice,
Thank you.
The Country of Wild Sex, Mondo Cannibal Massacre, Cannibals in the Land of Exorcism, Deep River Savages, Mirage, Mondo Cannibal, Slay the Cannibals,
Yes.
North of Bangkok, Devouring Instinct, which I fucking love. Not for this film, but that would make an amazing erotic thriller title. River of Death, River of Love, In the Land of Cannibals, and Mondo Cannibal, The Island of Exciting Love Games. What's a disco stick?
Land of Wild Sex does it for me. I mean, ridiculous. None of these titles make sense anyway, apart from Man from Deep River.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like literally, this is officially the first cannibal film from Italy, anyway.
Yeah, my favourite's River of Death, River of Love. I
Yeah.
quite like that one. But Devouring Instinct is the best title. I just don't think it fits too well.
Well, it is the first Italian cannibal film, which would obviously be prevalent throughout grindhouse cinema and, of course, within the video nasties. We spent an entire episode discussing them, and there are others here and there as well. It is directed by Umberto Lenzi, who basically just ripped off A Man Called Horse.
Yes.
The two plots are nearly identical, but it's kind of ironic that it's the first Italian cannibal film, but there's actually little to maybe no cannibalism.
Yeah. So I think it was trying to... I know what it was trying to do was go for like a Mondo film rather than a cannibal film. I think they just threw cannibal in there to... for shock value, because it wasn't until Ruggero Deodato's Last Cannibal World 5 years later that the Italian cannibal film exploded. So I think this is, for all intents and purposes, a rip-off of A Man Called Horse.
Yeah.
But instead of Native Americans, it's tribes in the rainforests of Thailand.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, and it's also fucking boring. Written by Francesco Barilli and Massimo Davac, starring Ivan Razimov, Mimi Lai, Pratisak Singara, and Sulawan Susantat. And it's that in Thailand, a photographer is initiated into a primitive tribe after the chief's daughter falls in love with him and must help them face modern dangers and a rival clan of cannibals.
Photographer John Bradley is captured by a tribe within the Thai rainforest, and despite the barriers of language, culture, and John being an incredibly dull man, he manages to find love with Mariah, the chief's daughter. Can their relationship survive the protests of the other tribe members? Will our white saviour John be able to save the tribe from the rival tribesmen? Try and stay awake to find out.
Oh my god, it's a struggle.
I fell asleep the first time we watched this film, and now I realise why.
It somehow wasn't prosecuted. It was originally refused a cinema certificate in 1975, but eventually released with 3 minutes 45 seconds of animal cruelty cuts in 2003, and re-released with 3 minutes of similar cuts in 2016. It is probably the most extreme with the animal violence. This and next to Cannibal Holocaust, I'd say. because it's quite frequent and it doesn't leave anything for the imagination at all. So that's why it surprises me that this actually wasn't prosecuted.
I think because there were other heavy hitters within the cannibal film, and this one was a little older, I think they probably just was like, oh, let's not focus on this one because Cannibal Holocaust exists. Really.
Yeah, the first line of dialogue in this film is "I'm bored."
It's the last as
That
well.
is so fitting. That is so fitting. For me, this is the worst Italian cannibal film. It's just, there's nothing to it. There's all it is. It has the usual animal cruelty and racism, but this time you're given a painfully boring romance storyline to go with it.
Yeah. I found none of the characters interesting. I didn't find anything that happened interesting. Visually, the most striking moment is when he is put into this contraption and he has darts shot at him, which is completely taken from A Man Called Horse anyway. So even if the most exciting part is a rip-off of another film, it really, to me, it had nothing to it, no substance. I didn't care about the characters. There wasn't that much cannibal stuff, cannibalism, which you kind of become accustomed to with Italian cannibal films. There's no death scenes that stand out, no gore effects that really stand out. Just really dull and uninteresting. Which, if you've listened to us long enough, you realise that that's the worst thing you can do. You can give us a big pile of steaming shit, but if it's exciting, if it's, if stuff happens, I can forgive, but this was just...
Yeah. I just found the lead guy so annoying.
Yeah.
He just pissed me off throughout the entire thing. It was just such a dull character. There's just nothing to him at all. Yeah, should have done us all a favour and just drowned in the deep river, and then we wouldn't have had to have sat through this bullshit. Umberto Lenzi as well. I thought maybe...
Why is he... Does he... I get a little...
I do get my Italian
and just
video
in terms
nasty
of
directors mixed
how
up.
many of his films
But
we've watched.
Umberto Lenzi did Cannibal Ferox.
Okay, that was a decent one.
And Nightmare City.
Yeah.
So... Yeah.
And
very
Nightmare
surprising.
City is a fun film.
Yeah.
It isn't almost human. Did we stop watching that?
We haven't watched that.
No.
No, it's one of
Do
the
we own
shameless
it?
Blu-rays we own that we haven't watched. Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, there's honestly not that much to say about it because not that much happens. We've pretty much told you the only exciting things that have happened. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Genuinely, I'm sorry. I apologise to anyone listening, but hopefully it puts you off watching the film.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought it was very, very dull.
It has an IMDb rating of 5.3 out of 10 and a Letterboxd rating of 2.8 out of 5 somehow. I give it half star out of 5.
I give it half star.
Did this deserve to be on the list? What do you think is on the list? Yeah, more than a lot of other films that have somehow got prosecuted on there.
The animal cruelty specifically is why it should be on the list. Yeah. But I kind of stand by the my theory that they probably had other bigger hitters that they wanted to go after, like Cannibal Ferox, Cannibal Holocaust, the more showy Italian cannibal films.
Well, for something a little more exciting, we have Mardi Gras Massacre from 1978.
New Orleans, Mardi Gras, masks, and murder. The Mardi Gras Massacre.
Homicide.
Beautiful women are dying, and so are the New Orleans cops. As they battle a bloodthirsty madman, a masked monster, Mardi Gras Massacre.
AKA the perverted killer and emissary of terror.
That's it.
And that's it. I don't think this film travelled far.
I don't think so, no.
No.
It was written and directed by Jack Weis, starring Kurt Dawson, Gwen Arment, William Mezzo, and Ronald Tennant. And it's about police trying to capture someone who's committing ritual murders of women during Mardi Gras in New Orleans.
Yes. Well, it's just Blood Feast, but set during Mardi Gras. Well, actually, before Mardi Gras.
Mostly.
And a little during Mardi Gras,
Mostly,
to be fair.
yeah.
But mainly just before Mardi Gras.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's just a Blood Feast.
Blood Feast. It was prosecuted and passed in cut in March 2022.
Ooh.
Which is funny that a film as goofy as this remained banned for that long.
I would assume that it didn't remain banned, but nobody really cared to try and get it released. I think sometimes these films, a film like this, is just kind of, if it was, we've said it so many times, if it wasn't on the Video Nasties list, no one would remember it, no one would care about it.
Well,
it's a fun film, and we're going to tell you why.
Yeah.
But I do think it would have been lost to time if it wasn't on the Video Nasties list.
Well, I mean, the cast don't have the most nice things to say about it.
Oh, no.
February 1975 Playboy Playmate of the Month, Laura Mitch Owens' first credited role after appearing in 4 films. In a 2005 article for Salon, she wrote, "I'm sure you've seen me in Mardi Gras Massacre, having my innards cut out by a guy wearing an Aztec mask. One of the worst movies ever made. I'm proud." Co-star Ronald Tennant said he went to a revival showing of the film in New Orleans many years later. And he said, "I remember walking out of the Lower State on Canal Street after watching it." Not our Canal Street in America. "This woman came up to me. She said, 'You're one of the stars of this movie. I live in the Iberville projects and I'm on food stamps. It's the worst movie I've ever seen. I can't believe I spent $4 going to see this movie. It was horrible.' She was screaming, so I reached in my pocket and gave her $4. She was right. It was horrible." Unlike the cast of the film, I love this film. I think it is so fucking trashy. It's so stupid. And I kind of admire its absolute audacity to just blatantly rip off Blood Feast.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even trying to hide it. It's practically the same film.
Yeah. And what I like about the film is everything I like about Blood Feast as well. It's just ridiculous. It's very silly. I don't know if it's taking itself seriously or not, but I'm not taking it seriously.
No.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. This guy's going around looking for the most evil woman. Like, who's the most evil woman you know? Who's the most evil sex worker you know? And she's like, "I'm evil." What does that even mean? Like, the dialogue is so ridiculous. Like, "Oh yes, I love being evil." What does that even mean? Like, are you killing people yourself? You know, are you throwing dog turds at people? What's happening here? What makes you so evil?
My favourite one is the first victim, Shirley, who looks like Shelley Duvall, so I am referring to her as Shirley Duvall. When she says, "Listen, honey, I could probably take first prize in an evil contest."
What does that even mean?
She goes to his apartment.
Are you a Nazi?
Well, she goes to his apartment. She's like, "Apartment 4? Oh, 4 is my lucky number." She then has her chest cut open and her heart ripped out with amazingly hokey effects.
Yes.
I mean, it's revealed also that she was a sex worker for the kicks and for the laughs.
Yeah.
She really was gone too soon.
Is that part of her being evil?
No.
She's giving pleasure to people.
Yeah.
She's enjoying that.
She's killed too soon. It's hard to give a best death in this film when every single one of them are the exact
exactly the same.
And they all look great. I love the hokey effects. But one of the biggest standouts here is the restaurant scene. And this makes the entire film worth watching alone. When Janice, the most popular woman in town, becomes a waitress and complains that she's too old to be a sex worker. Feminist, or as we'd later go on to realise, fake feminist, Frank Harbert, the sergeant, who's also maybe the sexiest man of the video Nasties, tells her that life isn't fair for women, and then proceeds to break up a random Real Housewives style fight between two sex workers and a pimp, but doesn't arrest them, which causes him and Sherry to stare at each other for an uncomfortable amount of time before going home for a good railing.
What I love
that entire sequence,
yes,
is incredible.
And the ridiculous soundtrack, as well.
It's disco music throughout the entire film.
Yes. What I loved is that on this date he orders her a bottle of Blue Nun.
Yeah.
As if it's like the fanciest wine.
Uh-huh.
Blue Nun was what my mum gave us when we were younger, because it was so disgusting it put us off wanting to drink anymore. It was, I don't think they do Blue Nun anymore, but it was the cheap shit, like the real vinegary crap. And he's like, a bottle of Blue Nun for the lady, Janice.
There's a character called Catfish who constantly talks like the Riddler and also keeps singing at people.
Yeah, that was a weird one because he was a pimp, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I don't really understand why he was singing. Pretty damn ridiculous film.
It is. Sherry is the best character. The one who gets the Blue Nun from Frank.
Given Eileen, no, she's given Ellen. No, not Ellen Payne. No.
Who's she given?
Oh, Eileen
Davidson.
No, not Eileen. Oh, it'll come to me.
Okay.
Elaine Page.
Yeah. So Frank, when he's revealed to be a fake feminist, Sherry really tells him about himself, and she says, "That's right, pig. You ain't worth no $100 a night. If you were abroad, you'd be lucky if you could turn a $2 black trick." And I'm like, girl, you fucking tell him. She doesn't take no shit from anyone. But she's a hooker with a heart.
Apparently, yes. Which is a trope I love in films.
Yeah. And she absolutely owns the dance floor in her red dress with her cunty dance moves. Whilst I love the way you move by the Mike Theodore orchestra plays. And she ends up in a fight with another woman after stealing her man.
High camp. If it was now...
Yeah.
Would he be looking for the most evil woman, or do you think he'd be looking for the cuntiest? Who's the cuntiest woman you know?
This film is pretty much Anora, really, when you think about it. Anora with death.
Yes. I love all the scenes with the strippers as well, because when they're stripping, the audience looks so bored.
I know.
They're very aware they're on camera, but they're just like... It's like the tedious.
One of the girlies uses her dancing to her advantage when the killer takes her home. And she's like, "I'm not evil, look." And then she does like this really cunty dance for him. And he's like, "Just get the fuck out of here." And she says, "You paid good money for me. Let's get it on." And she could have escaped. She could have escaped. But it's a great scene. Some great dancing. Like Chris, like we were saying... So much disco music. Again, part of the criteria to get banned and put on the video Nasties list is including disco music, apparently.
I also have to give them credit. So like Gary said earlier, all the death scenes are the same. Yeah. And so you just get close-ups of the women's torso and stomach gets cut open and whatever. I think it's a heart each time. Yeah. Gets pulled out. And I have to give them credit because... the breasts are different each time. Mm-hmm. So they've literally made separate special... So they're not just showing the same clip each time. They've gone to the effort, and for each woman, they must have done a cast of her breasts or whatnot, because each breast is different. So I was pleased to see that. A little effort being put into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very, 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 very charming. Very charming film.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically it's shit. It is shit.
Yeah.
It's not a great film, but it's so campy and low brow and low budget that I have the same affection for it as I do Blood Feast and Herschel Gordon Lewis's films. It's I love how we don't actually get to Mardi Gras until an hour and 15 minutes into the film. I love the poster.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the poster's actually really cool. Doesn't really show how much of a comedy this probably is, but
no. I don't think the sex worker representation is awful for 1978.
It's not terrible. The cop's really harsh and abrupt about it, though.
Yeah, but the characters themselves, if you're looking at them as protagonists, which I think was the intention, really likable characters who are just trying to get by.
Yeah, okay, to a certain extent. They are just throwaway women.
Well, yeah.
Let's be fair. And there's the hooker with a heart trope is the one that makes it the long...
Well, yeah.
I'm trying not to spoil the film, but she's a main girl, or a final girl type, because she's a hooker with a heart, because she's given up being a sex worker so she can find love with a sexy cop.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, there's an IMDb rating of 4 out of 10. So harsh. Letterboxd rating of 2.4 out of 5. I gave it 3.5 out of 5.
I gave it 3 out of 5.
Did it deserve to be on the list? Why do you think it's on the list?
Naked women having their insides pulled out
That'll
whilst
do
tied
it.
to tables.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Don't particularly think it deserves to be on there because, I mean, it's so fakey looking with those effects that I don't think it's inspiring anyone to go and do the same sort of thing.
No, but it's that sex and violence aspect to it, where the women... There's a lot of full frontal female nudity in the film, which I'm sure they hated.
Yes. Finally, for our fourth and final film of the episode, it is Nightmares in a Damaged Brain from 1981.
Where do you go? There's no place to hide. Escape alive.
Nightmares in a damaged brain.
AKA Nightmare, Blood Splash, Nightmares of a Sick Mind, Nightmare the Last, Violence is Written in Blood, Schizo, Nightmares in Daytona Beach, Bloodbath, Deadly Nightmare, and Deadly Nightmare Dark Games.
I mean, Nightmares in a Damaged Brain, I think, is a great title.
Nightmares in a Damaged Brain is an amazing title for a film.
It's written and directed by Romano Scavolini and starring Baird Stafford, Sharon Smith, CJ Cook, and Mick Cribben. And it's about a mental patient who embarks on a murder spree upon escaping from an institution.
Yes, Susan Temper is stalked by a mental patient, yet nothing compares to the horrors of raising annoying children.
Jesus Christ, we'll get to that. Oh my God. The true horror of the film.
Yes.
This was prosecuted with a backstory. Originally passed with cuts for cinema. Released with approximately 3 minutes of pre-edits in 2005 and re-released uncut in November 2015. It came to the attention of the British censors as a video nasty in the early 80s, mainly because of several gimmicks, which included providing a vomit bag with the video and a competition to guess the weight of a brain in a jar. The film's original UK distributor was sent to prison for releasing an unapproved version.
So is that the only case of someone going to prison for it?
Cannibal Holocaust? Well, he went to court, didn't he? But he was arrested.
But this
guy actually went to prison. Yeah. 4-time Academy Award-winning American director Joel Cohen was originally the editor for the film, but was fired early in the process. And some sources say Tom Savini is credited as the film's makeup effects artist, and some video prints still bear his credit as special effects director. Based on Savini, he was only a consultant and threatened to sue over the use of his name to promote the film. Savini said that what he did consisted solely of advice. I'd tell them that something needed to look more organic or how something should be lit, but none of the effects work in the film is my own. It kind of looks like Tom Savini's work. I think it looks really good.
I think a lot of it looks very, very good. It's a gruesome film.
Yeah.
It's very gory at times. It's quite seedy.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me very much of Maniac.
Yeah.
In its depiction of... I'm not sure what city it was.
New York.
Is it New York?
It's New York.
Downtown New York. It's a really creepy film.
It's really creepy.
Very effective.
I have a soft spot for this film because me and my friend Niall watched it 10 years ago now. 9 years ago. We had the box of the band, the first volume. This was in there. And we watched all of those, followed by Mannequin and Rosemary's Baby. And this was the one that really got me. It really, really creeped me out. And I had never heard anything about it prior to Box of the Band. And it just really caught me off guard by how much how spooky it was. Just it kind of because of how amateur it is. I think that really adds to it.
Yeah.
And a bit of context, that box set also included Last House on the Left, Evil Dead, Driller Killer, Zombie Flesh Eaters, and Now I Spit on Your Grave. But yeah, this was, and of course there are better films in that box set than this, but this is the one that creeped me out. I do think because it kind of gives us that sort of snuff film vibe with the grittiness, the really gritty cinematography that it makes it feel more real in the same way that Texas Chainsaw Massacre does. You know, I'd say, like you said, it's more Maniac, more Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer than something like Halloween, which it's clearly trying to rip off because a mentally ill man escaping from an institution and killing people started with Halloween and was done so many times after. And it's also very much part of the 70s and 80s kid walks in on someone having sex, which leads to the kid becoming a killer trope.
Yes, that whole Ed Gein kind of Henry Lee Lucas?
Yeah.
Kind of trope, which is tired, I have to say. It is kind of, and it's, in this case, he walks in on his dad.
It's a nice change.
Having sex with a woman, but he doesn't explain that straight away.
No.
So it is one of those things where it feels like women are blamed no matter what. It's always the woman's fault because her death is the one we see so much throughout the film, and it's not explained that that's his dad and that's not his mum, but whatever. My history with the film, I remember it, the VHS cover. It's the poster I've used on Letterboxd. Which makes him look like he's in some sort of tube or something.
Yeah.
Like I'm confused by the poster. But that was the one, and I saw it, and I was highly intrigued by the VHS, but I bought Carrie instead.
Wow.
So.
Good choice.
My history with the film stopped there until you showed it to me.
Yeah, but Carrie doesn't have Tara Alexander, does it?
No.
A cunty girl in a booth that introduces herself to George while she's fingering herself in fluffy heels.
Hi, I'm Tara Alexander.
Her
name is Tara Alexander.
Like in real life, yeah.
Oh wow!
Which causes George to have some sort of seizure. Which, I mean, who can blame him when you're slayed that much? The biggest problem in this film.
Yes.
The biggest issue, and usually this is always I've always rated this really highly, but I've gone down a little bit in my rating this time, and it's because I don't know why it's never occurred to me before now that CJ is perhaps one of the top 5 most annoying characters in horror history.
Yeah.
This horrible little child who pretends that someone stabbed him and covers himself in blood, making everyone think that he was genuinely about to die, only to reveal it's a prank. He's like all of those fucking annoying Friday the 13th characters that just exist to play pranks on people, except he's a child, so arguably he's even more annoying.
Yeah, it's his two sisters take a back seat during the film. You barely see them, really. They're sort of non-entities. But he gets a lot of time.
Way too much screen time.
How annoying he is. And his potential homicidal instincts himself, should we say. It's very much playing into the evil kid trope of films at that time, all with like how would you describe the hair, like helmet hair, like Luke Skywalker hair?
Yeah, it's almost a bob, but
yeah,
not quite there.
But what I enjoyed about the film was the emphasis on the family, particularly his mum. She's very much the heart of the film.
Oh, she's had enough
behind her.
Yeah, she's had enough of everyone.
Yes, yeah, she's having a tough time. We don't know about the relationship with the father of her children, but she's got another fella. Is he Bob? I think he is Bob, because he's absolute fit as fuck. He's probably my favourite of the video nasties so far. But yeah, so she's having a tough time. She's basically a single mom. She didn't work. She didn't live with a fella, and so you really are behind her, and you kind of don't want her to be stalked and killed. Very much like Halloween.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's always refreshing to have a parent who's not afraid to tell her kids that they're fucking annoying.
Yes, that is true. She is brutally honest with her children at times, which I very much appreciate.
Poor Kathy, the babysitter, as well. I mean, she's not the brightest spark. There's a scene where she's confronted with the killer, who is a full-grown man in a mask, and she's like, CJ, cut it out, I'm telling your mum. CJ is a child who's like 4 foot tall. Why do you think that is the kid?
Yeah.
And then CJ's just as dumb himself, because he goes around after he sees her clearly getting murdered, and he's like, he's trying to kill Kathy. Yeah, he had a fucking hammer deep in her back. I'm pretty certain she's dead. But the killer himself, the mask, is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, it is. It is, and we see the man behind the mask as well, but we don't get too much of him.
No,
we get a lot of him being creepy, which is great. He doesn't talk much. Doesn't have anyone to talk to. A lot of his having nightmares in his damaged brain. Screaming. He screams a lot, but we don't get a hell of a lot of his personality or his backstory, apart from whatever ignited this homicidalness in him with his father at an early age. But I like that. And it's Halloween, and if it isn't broke, don't fix it. If you're going to rip off Halloween, rip off the best parts of Halloween, and that's one of the best parts. That's what makes it scary. That's what makes it creepy. That's what builds tension. And it does it really well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the ex-murderer of George's dad and his lover are the best kills of the film.
Yes, the beheading.
The practical effects do not leave anything to the imagination. But also, I think it's worth mentioning the soundtrack as well for this is also great and really adds to that unsettling atmosphere that the cinematography works so hard to provide as well.
Yes, I agree. Definitely.
Well, it has an IMDb rating of 5.6 out of 10 and a Letterboxd rating of 3.1 out of 5, so it's nice to know more people are appreciating it. My rating is 4 out of 5.
My rating is also 4 out of 5.
And did it deserve to be on the list? Why do you think it's on the list?
Yes.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's the whole murder whilst having sex by a child doing the murder as well.
Yeah.
It's, pretty much just you might as well just hand the film over to him. Yeah,
it's extremely gruesome, very gory.
And so sleazy.
And it has a very sleazy feel to it.
That is it. But we do still have That Could Have Been a Nasty, a modern film that would have made it onto the list. And in the spirit of slasher films, I'm going with Girl House, which is a slasher film about a mass killer killing off a bunch of cam girls.
I went with American Psycho, because that definitely has the sex and violence
it does.
The BBFC hated so bloody much.
You can find us on all social media by searching the name of the podcast, and if you can go give us a rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to this, we'd be very grateful. For our next episode in 2 weeks' time, it's another themed episode. It is I'd say perfect for the month of October. All these episodes are.
I was going to say, yeah.
It's what we do. It's going to be N is for night. Including Night of the Bloody Apes,
Ooh.
Night of the Demon,
Ooh.
Night of the Howling Beast,
Wow.
Night of the Zombies, and Night School.
Oh, that's a lot of nights.
It is.
We just had Nightmare.
5 nights at Chris and Gary's.
Okay.
We'll be back at the same time in the same place with more nasties in 2 weeks' time.
Bye.